are now going to hear from Thom, who is incredible, right? I mean, this man has his own Elevate REM media company. He is from my opinion, what I love about all of our people is that they are no different than us. Hey, Travis, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you? Thanks for having me on.
I am great. Travis, my name's Amir, and it's a pleasure to meet you. It's so awesome to have you on. Katie Shive is incredible for being able to source this kind of amazing group of people to contribute to our community. Travis, just a little bit about you. Not only are you the co-founder and CEO of Elevated REM, you consult for Facebook for their real estate vertical. Are you kidding me? How in the world? That is the coolest job ever. All right, you also have helped close over $500 million in real estate sales. So we're not talking to someone that is going to show us without doing it himself. What I love about that is that not only do you do that, but you've also launched a new software to help listing agents called Walled Garden HQ. Can't wait to learn more about that. With all of that said, man, you are, I am so excited. I'm just going to shut up and let you start so that we get the most amount of time with Travis again. Katie, Jen, Katie, thank you. We're so honored to have you, Travis. It's all yours.
Thank you. Thanks, Amir. I appreciate that. Yeah, so I'm Travis Thom. I'm a Facebook marketing strategist for the real estate industry. Grew up in the real estate industry at the early age of 18 years old, and then fell in love with the real estate side over a decade later and started getting into Facebook marketing. And as you mentioned, I'm a consultant and advisor to Facebook headquarters. So I fly over to Facebook and meet with their team. I sit on the real estate Facebook advisory board where we discuss certain things that are happening across the board, some of the campaigns and some of the findings that we've found throughout the campaigns we run across the world. And we've generated by now, actually to date, a little over 750,000 leads from Facebook. So with that, we get the privilege of seeing a lot of data, right? A lot of information that is telling us what campaigns work, what strategies are working, what doesn't work. And I'm going to dive into some of that data with you today and really kind of walk you through what that looks like. So I'm going to take you through kind of a Facebook marketing masterclass and show you some of the things that create a better Facebook ad campaign. So today we're going to learn how to craft better Facebook ads to reach the right people, how to make ads that grow your real estate business on demand. And we're going to cover some of the targeting changes that have taken place and then some of our strategies that have helped our clients close over $500 million in sales. So first things first, we need to focus on what creates a high converting ad. And what I mean by converting is there's the digital conversion where someone actually clicks on the ad and moves forward to the next destination, either a landing page or a Facebook lead ad or whatever it might be. So when we need to do that, we need to look at the click-through rate. So for us, the industry standard click-through rate is typically 1%. That's someone clicking on the ad, right, and moving forward. Click-through rate is measured based upon the impressions and then how many people have seen the ad, but then how many people have clicked on the ad and then moved forward, right, taking the next step. That's a critical point there. Copywriting, that must capture their attention and tell them exactly what to do next. And then having some sort of thumb-stopping ad creative. So the essentials of Facebook ad copywriting, right? This really kind of sums it up. This is the key essential. So how many of you are reading it exactly how it's laid out? Probably about 90% of you are reading it exactly how it is, right? This is how we read Facebook ads. You're going to read this first, which is typically the image. This is the ad image itself that plays a big role. And then from there, you're going to see the headline below that. And then your eyes are going to gravitate and float up towards the top there. So this tells us if the ad image is responsible for up to 90% of a campaign's performance, then we need to probably do something about that, right? There was a company called Consumer Acquisitions that actually ran a study on a little over 100,000 Facebook ads in conjunction with Facebook, where they had eye tracking data. And they analyzed all of these different campaigns, and they summarized that the ad image was the leading factor for a lot of the higher click-through rates that got people to move forward. And if all the eyeballs are on the image, we need to leverage that real estate. Right? How do we do that? We typically need to summarize what we're offering either on the ad creative or tell them what to do next, right? Some sort of call to action on there, and then create some sort of thumb stopper. So right away, we can see here our eyes, tell us that visual story, because, we look for things that are going to be relevant to us. Our eyes look immediately towards the ad image, digest the media, and then we float up towards the top to try and read the ad copy to say, is this worth it to me? Is this a benefit? Should I keep moving forward, or should I scroll past it? So this was an agent recruitment ad from a campaign that we ran. We had about 12 different images, and this was the one that got the highest click-through rate because it was high contrast, but also it described exactly what it was offering, right? And had a bit of a unique type of ad copy that was based on, on fear and FOMO. So we use an ad copywriting formula called ADIA, which stands for attention, interest, desire, and action, right? We need to grab their attention, pull them into the ad to get them to take the next step of reading more. Interest. There has to be some sort of interest that's relevant to them that's going to provide some sort of benefit. And then the desire. The desire part is typically what we're promising them in the ad. With most advertising, there's always the promise to enhance someone's life for the better. So what is this enhancement? What's the benefit? We need to build a desire with that and tell them what they're going to get on the other side of that ad. And then action. This is the most critical step. Asking them to take the next step and move forward. Click here to see the list of homes. Tap here to download the guide. If you don't have the desire and the action part of this, what's going to happen is it's going to be a public service announcement, right? We've got attention, we've got interest, but we don't really have the next steps. And so I see a lot of people running ads or posting ads where it's like 14 pictures of the property and say, just listed, so excited for this homeowner. And that's it. Right? There's nothing else, not telling them what they're going to get on the other side, what to do, to tap here to see all the photos, prices, and details. It's just a mystery, and it's not going to get a lot of attention, and people are just going to swipe past it. So here's an example of using that formula. We've got our attention. We're grabbing their attention with some sort of image, 30,000 feet up type of aerial view of either a hyper-local photo of a community or something that might resonate with a key landmark within their area. And then interest, right? We put together a free list of homes for sale priced under X amount. Desire, some of these homes even qualify for special financing programs. Right? We're building up the desire and making it a little bit more hyper relevant to the specific psychographic profile we're going after, which for this one is first-time home buyers. This ad has generated over 4,000 leads for first-time home buyers. All you need to do is switch out the price, entry-level price for that market area, and then also the market. I spoke in Seattle about 9 months ago, and they pointed out a certain detail that there's no homes are priced at $349,000 in Seattle. I think it's starting price like 1.4. So it's one of those you just kind of swap that out. All right, then the desire part, right? Telling them again what's going to be on the other side. Action part, which is click here to view the homes priced under X amount. Again, if we don't have the action part, we're going to not get a solid click-through rate. Engagement is going to go down. The reason why it's important to get a high engagement rate, high click-through rate, is because the algorithm, Facebook's algorithm, is known as BEAR, right? BEAR, think of a big, mean grizzly bear. It stands for bidding, expected action, and then relevancy. So the bidding part, what are you bidding on the ad auction? And typically you want to be spending about $10 a day per 100,000 people in the audience, give or take. Now, the expected action part is saying based on the objective that you've chosen, lead generation or video views or traffic, whatever it is, that's engineered to find people that are going to take specific action in that audience based on that objective. So the expected action is typically the common denominator is getting click-through rates. getting people to click on it and then move forward. Well, if we don't get a click on it, if we don't get the expected action to be repeated again and again within a certain period of time, what happens is the algorithm says, you know what, this is a suboptimal experience. It's not getting a high click-through rate. People are engaging with it. This may not be the best user experience. We're going to suppress the reach of the campaign and not serve it out to more people. But if you have the action part, if you're telling people to take specific steps, you're going to get typically a 15 to 25% more engagement, which is then going to feed into the algorithm and tell the algorithm, hey, this is good. People are enjoying it. The expected action weighted measurement within the ad auction is saying, push this out to more people, right? Get this experience out, and then you get more leads at a lower cost per lead. Another thing that we have discovered over the past several years is that we typically get a 20 to 30% higher click-through rate with animated ads. Now, we move through, right, the mobile news feed 2.5 times faster than we do on desktop. And it's with our thumbs. So we have to create thumb stoppers. We have to create something that is going to get their attention, stop, and then read the ad copy, and then move forward. So with this, in less than about, I think, 10 seconds, 14 seconds on most of these, they summarize that ad formula, right? Realize your dreams, affordable and attractive homes, download the list today, get a complete list of foreclosures and bank-owned homes in the area, and it tells you then what to do in the next step. Even without any kind of ad copy attached to it, just the imagery itself does a lot of the heavy lifting and tells you what's going to be on the other side and then what to do. Now, my ad design team created those for me, but you don't have to have a design team. You can use Facebook's new video creation tool, which has been out for, almost a little over a year now, but it's still new to a lot of people because they haven't really discovered it. I wanted to test it out and see how it would perform in a campaign. So I went in, I spent about 5 minutes creating a campaign. There was a fake listing that I created an ad for it, ran it in my local area. And what we see is that red circle, I got a 13% click-through rate on that campaign, on that ad. Not because I designed it, but because it basically tells us that animated images with slight text animation over them, telling them what they're going to get on the other side, performs, right? That gets engagement, gets people to stop, gets people to actually look at it and then engage and move forward. So if you remember, industry standard click-through rate is 1%. If we get 2% or 3%, we're doing good. If we get 3 or 4 or 5, all the way up to 6, we're doing great. Anything beyond that is typically kind of in that phenomenal type of range. And this just encourages us to really experiment on what actually works. And I'll show you guys towards the end here exactly how to use Facebook's new video creation tool and how to make slight animated ads out of static images. All right, this is a big one here. This is probably a question that you get asked constantly if you're helping agents try and create campaigns, or you hear their frustration, which is that real estate targeting has changed. And this is kind of a constant thing, right? So now when you go into the Facebook Ad Manager platform, you're going to see that you need to choose this special ad category. And this is for housing, employment, and credit, right? HUD sued Facebook because they didn't want Facebook to have the opportunity for advertisers to discriminate, right? Which is a good thing. And some of the things were changed. So now when you go in there, you need to check special ad category. If you don't, you try to run a campaign, it's going to get denied. If you keep trying, your account will probably get shut down. And that's never a good thing. So now when you go through that, zip code targeting is going to be locked down. You can't choose that. It has to be now a 15-mile radius of wherever you type in a property address. If you type in a city, or if you drop a pin, it's going to have a minimum 15-mile radius around it. Now, I'm a big data kind of guy, so me and my team, we read a lot of reports about historical data. And when this came out, we were testing out a few different things. What we read is that typically most buyers, almost 70% of buyers, move within a 12 to 14-mile radius of their previous address. So that's not too big of a concern when you're in that 15-mile radius, right? If you're going after, let's say kind of brand awareness marketing and targeting specific zip codes, well, here's kind of a quick tip for you. Name the community name, use a community photo, call out the community about 3 or 4 times, use that in the imagery. That will train the algorithm, but also train the people within that area to actually see that specific ad for that specific community, even though it's a 15-mile radius, right? It's going to be of interest to them. Now, age is locked down, gender is locked down. I did training on this a couple of weeks back where someone was really angry about the whole age, 18 to 65. Now, Facebook is not going to show your ad to 18-year-olds, even though you can manipulate that and change that. I'll go into that in a little bit here on some of the strategies that are working well for us, but I just want to put that out there. Facebook is going to make sure that's locked down, but trust me, your ad is not going to be served to a bunch of 18-year-olds. All right.
Hey, Travis, can I jump in really quick?
Please, yeah.
Okay, we have 2 questions I just want to before we get too far. So Jan said she's heard that Facebook does not like ads that have words in the image. What do you have thoughts on that?
You're probably referring to the 20% rule. And so the 20% rule is that your text needs to be less than 20%, take up 20% of the actual ad creative, right? The actual image itself. On video, you can bypass that, right? With static images, you just need to make sure that you use just less than the actual 20% of the entire area. There is a Facebook tool called the 20% checker. So just type into Google Facebook 20% checker tool, and you're going to discover that, or go to Creative Hub. That's an actual website within Facebook for all your creative where you can check images, and it'll tell you. Now, if you have text on the image and you're going to run that campaign, you're going to get a warning sign, but it's not saying that you can't run it. It's just saying that it's probably going to impede upon the reach of the campaign. It's going to suppress some of the reach. If you get high engagement on that campaign, it's going to basically kind of break through that restriction there a little bit. So okay. You can kind of play around with that. Yeah.
And then we have Katie Rice has a question. If we're in Tahoe, how do we add the Bay Area where most of our buyers are? And I believe you're going over that with the locations, right?
Right. So yeah. So if you're targeting buyers that are out of your area, right, out of state, all you would do is just type in the city location. So if you see where on the very top here it says locations, everyone in this location, and then United States, you would want to click that location part and change it from everyone in this location to people who live in this location, that have a home. And then that's renters or homeowners. And then below that, you would type in, let's say, the Bay Area, wherever it might be, parts of San Francisco, wherever you're targeting, go ahead and type that in there. And then it's going to be a 15-mile radius of that specific city center, right? Or if you have a property address that you're going after. So if you're running ads to someone else's city, and there's different ways to kind of do that. If you were to hack it, and let's say you're targeting people off the coast, you could drop a pin in the ocean, right? Drop a pin in the water. Let's say you drop a pin in Alcatraz, right? And that might get just only a specific area on each side. So that we kind of basically have that radius kind of hovering over it. Those are things that you can do, for certain areas if you want to try and reduce the audience size a little bit, or only a section of a city. All right. Is that it?
Yes. Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. So detailed targeting, that's also been changed a little bit as well. We used to be able to target people that were, let's say, I want to target single females that are looking to get engaged soon, that are shopping for wedding dresses, that have 2 kids from previous marriage, that are under the age of 14, and this person drives a Lexus, owns a premium platinum credit card, has a net worth of $350,000. That makes an income of $125,000, right? We used to, that lives in like these 3 zip codes. We used to be able to target people based on those certain parameters. But over time, what we found out is that was really starting to actually not perform as well as it used to, as Facebook started to make some of the changes in the algorithm. And I'll discuss that in just a minute here. So to kind of recap, can't target by age, can't target by gender. Some detailed targeting is removed. Location has to be 15-mile radius minimum. Lookalike audiences are gone. So this was the biggest concern, right? That real estate targeting was dead. This was the death of real estate targeting, but not really, right? Just like anything, we need to adapt and move, especially in real estate. Right? Everyone in real estate knows that you always constantly have to adapt or die. This is definitely one of those situations with everything that's moving in all the moving parts that are going on, especially with advertising. You have to be quick and understand how to move around these changes. So you being here today, congratulate yourself. That's the first step, right? You're investing in yourself to move forward and really gain that competitive edge. So what we did is I was in a meeting with Facebook about 7 months before they made these changes. And they gave me a heads up. They said, Travis, hey, we're making these big changes here based on this lawsuit. It's going to be rolled out, later on this year. You need to start to change them now. So that way for all of your national clients and everyone else, you can really start to shift how you're going to choose new strategies moving forward. So we wanted to do that and then also train ourselves and train our team and the people that we coach that you need to use new strategies now before they're changed. So I put around $95,000 into testing a few different strategies, actually 12 different strategies reduced down to 3 that ended up working really, really well for us. And what we found out is that through these strategies, we were actually getting a better cost per lead, a better quality lead, better conversations. And it was a little bit more apparent that Facebook had changed their algorithm on how they target. So it's a combination of what we call broad interest targeting, top-level targeting, and the behavioral intent-based retargeting. All right, so the old strategies, right, they are now dead. So moving forward, these are going to be the only ones that you can use to target people and still get the solid results, right, that you want. So broad interest targeting, this was really counterintuitive when we were testing this out. And I was banking on that this was not going to work at all whatsoever. We tested it on a couple different national accounts we had and then several hyper-local accounts throughout the country. So what we mean by that is when you go in and you type in your location, don't type in any targeting after that. Zero targeting, no interest targeting, right? A lot of people beforehand, they would type in, different aspects like marriage and they like, this specific baseball team in this area, whatever it might be. Don't put any targeting in. Now, I spoke to an engineer at Facebook where they work on the algorithm, and we discovered a couple different things with them through this conversation. Facebook uses 50,000 unique data points on each one of its users, right? It has 50,000 unique data points. It knows your browsing habits, right? Which website you were on an hour ago, 5 minutes ago, 2 years ago. It knows what website you're going to go to next, right? Predicting those behaviors. It knows the websites you were on if you press the blue button or the green button, or if you bought the $500 dress or the $200 pair of pants. It knows your emails, right? It goes through some of our conversations. It knows different pages that we've engaged with, or if we went to Southwest Airlines and bought the tickets for Maui. It aggregates all of this data online and offline. There's something called the Facebook Pixel. It's a little snippet of code that you put on the back end of websites that you get as a Facebook marketer to track people's data, track people's behaviors of what they're doing on that website. Pretty much every website you've gone to has it, right? From Whole Foods to Target to, my website to pretty much, it's on over 1 billion different websites. Now, I know this sounds creepy, but it's why Facebook makes billions of dollars and why people on Facebook that are doing advertising make hundreds of thousands of millions and billions of dollars is because it's the most advanced platform with the most amount of data on its users to get super hyper relevant ads. And Facebook is predicting what you're going to be doing in the near future based on all of these data points that it aggregates. It can really start to paint a picture of what your next purchase is going to be, right? What your next home buying experience is going to be. So with this, Facebook goes through and they look at our ads and they see, all right, how is your ad copy, right? Does it fit the desired audience? And the ad image itself. So imagine this, you've got an ad of a property and Facebook looks at it and they read the metadata To read, they actually see that there's a house and there's a tree. There's, certain things that indicate that it's house, it's real estate. They look at the ad copy, see all the homes for sale in X community priced to X amount. They go, oh, this is real estate. Then they see the destination URL. They scan that with their bots and they discover that your website you're sending people to is a real estate website or it's related to real estate. So this is for real estate. So then they start basically pushing it out to people that have indicated based on their behaviors and habits, online and offline, websites they've visited, conversations they've had, apps they've downloaded, that they are probably the ideal audience to serve this ad to. Now, there's something that Facebook just did. They filed a patent recently on this new software that they created where let's say that Amir and I are hanging out, right? And with Katie and we are by the pool and Amir has a Starbucks coffee, right? And he's holding that. Well, let's say I upload that to Facebook. And I'm like, hey, having a great time here. And Facebook will scan that photo and they'll recognize the Starbucks mug or the Starbucks coffee cup. And then it will scan everything else in the background. But let's just say the Starbucks one is the most prominent. It then will do facial recognition on me and Amir and Katie, and it'll understand that we are in the same area. And then it's going to then group us into an interest of people that like coffee. Right? The people that like Starbucks, people that are maybe like a gourmet coffee or, exotic beans, whatever it might be. Now we're in a targeted interest group that people are going to start running ads to us. Starbucks might start running ads to us based on that specific photo I uploaded. So Facebook's data is beyond just the newsfeed, right? It is mind blowing. And I'm just giving you less than 2% of what Facebook can actually do. But just kind of keep that in the back of your mind as you kind of run some of those ads. All right, top level targeting, meaning key point behavioral targeting. So let's take Jake, for example. Jake is on his phone and he's looking at homes on Zillow. About 2 months ago, he downloaded Realtor.com. He downloaded that app. The night before, he was checking out his credit on Credit Karma. And then he also looked on an online mortgage calculator app about 5 nights ago to see, could he afford a home and what was the net out of the home that he's selling now for a down payment. And then he also looked at some articles and read a few things that are indicated, towards house hunting. So how do we target Jake, right? And the thousands of people like Jake. Well, we're going to use the real estate apps that they use. So Zillow, Realtor.com, right? House hunting, that's behavior, Credit Karma, and then mortgage calculator, right? Those are the top 5 that are basically going to get you in front of the people that are actively using those apps, right? Indicating that they're probably going to be buying in the near future. All right, behavioral intent-based retargeting. This is one of my favorite ones because what it does is essentially it leverages video, and then we can retarget based on their behavioral interactions of watching a certain percentage of the video. So take Susie. Susie's in her apartment, getting ready to go meet her girlfriends down the street. Just finished up talking to her mom on Messenger. She's scrolling through Facebook. She now sees a video ad for a local housing development about a mile away. And the video is showing the country club area. It's showing the outdoor fireplace, showing the pool, the dog park. And then she gets a notification her Uber is here and she's out the door. Well, the marketer, me, that ran the ad to Susie and the 5,000 other people like Susie, Susie watched 50% of that video, right? Let's say I ran the ad to around 35,000 people, but only around 5,000 actually watched 50% of that video. Well, those that watched 50% of that video, they've raised their hand. They're interested. They have dedicated their time to actually watching that specific content. Time is finite, right? Time's really precious. So if we can actually look at their behavior and say they express that much interest by watching that percentage, we build a custom audience of people that watch 50% of that. And now I'm going to run an ad to Susie and the 5,000 other people like Susie that watched 50% of that video. I've now refined that audience to highly interested prospects. And now I'm going to run a Facebook lead ad to that custom audience, so those 5,000 people, offering all the floor plans, details, prices, and a virtual tour for that specific development. And guess what? Now I'm going to turn those video viewers into leads and then hook up to a text, email automation, and turn those leads then into conversations. So that's how you refine an audience to get basically more of a deeper, richer audience that has expressed their desire to, buy or sell based on the content they're watching. All right, a couple of strategies that are working really well right now. The reciprocity funnel, and this is something I got to touch on because when I started my career in real estate, my first 3 years were absolutely miserable. I was a broke real estate agent. I, was, young. I had a suit that didn't fit me. I didn't have a beard, right? I looked like I was 12 years old. No one's going to trust me with their largest investment. And I struggled really hard. But my parents, I remember it was like September 3rd, right around when I was 23 years old. My parents took me out to lunch and they gave me a book, The 7 Highly Effective Habits, right? Stephen Covey. I'm sure a good majority of you have read it. And there's a paragraph in that book that states that you have to make an emotional deposit with someone before you can make a withdrawal. Otherwise, it's going to end up in a negative balance. In marketing is like that in general, right? That one paragraph changed how I did all of my marketing moving forward. And it allowed me to grow to 3 different real estate companies. And, I had 34 people on my team. I had 271 listings because I kept this rinse and repeat methodology of giving an item of value as reciprocity that was something that they would then look at me as the expert figure and someone they could rely on and trust because I gave them answers first before I went in for my pitch. And so the same thing with real estate, with property-centric type of offerings. Typically, the reciprocity funnel is more of a list of home style. So these are all Facebook lead ads. On the far left-hand side, we are offering looking for a home in Austin, find your new home today, download the list. Really simple, clean, get straight to the point. In the middle, new construction homes starting at. Check out the new construction homes in Austin offering up to $5,000 in buyer rebates, right? Limited time offer, some scarcity there, right? They don't want to pass that up. And then maybe some sort of seller guide, right, that they would download. So a Facebook lead ad, if you haven't seen one before, this is a Facebook lead ad. On the far left-hand side, we're offering a list of homes. They click on that. It flips around into what's called the welcome card, where we tell a little bit more of the benefit they're going to get on the other side. Get instant access to all the photos, prices, and details, homes as low as, condos as low as, right? And then an extra benefit. See all the homes for sale in Austin. Now, the cool part with this is that you can get the person's name, email, and phone number, but it's auto-populated from their social profile. It instantly is auto-filled, and then you can ask a custom question like, do you own a home, yes or no? Now, this is also a great way to generate seller leads because most homeowners are buyers first, sellers second. Typically about 6 months before they actually list their home on the market, they're looking out to the market, trying to understand what is the pricing range we want to be in. Do we want to be in that school district? Is that the community? Is it the housing style we want to move to? They're trying to get all their ducks in a row before they make the big decision to list their property. So if you can use Facebook's algorithm to predict what they're going to do in the future, run ads to buyers, this is like a buyer-seller decoy kind of ad, then what you're doing is you're generating them as buyer leads, but you're asking that one simple question. Do you own a home, yes or no? If they say yes, you got a seller lead and a buyer lead. And then you know how to follow up correctly after that, right? Thanks so much for downloading the list of homes off of Facebook. Not quite sure if you're going to be in town this weekend, but I'd love to send you a list of open houses. By the way, I saw that you mentioned that you own a home. Would you like me to build out a custom home valuation for you so you get a better idea of what your home is worth in today's market? Right? You instantly pivot into that, but you're offering value and value again before you ever ask for, are they qualified? Do you want to set up an appointment, right? All those things that would immediately stop that type of further continuance. All right, so there's all sorts of ways that you can build a list of home ad types, right? Home is priced under X amount, upcoming open houses, new construction, first-time home buyer programs, list of foreclosed homes. That always works really well for investors, attracting investors. Townhouses, downsizing, right? See all the one-bedroom condos or the two-bedroom condos, less than 700 square feet or whatever it might be for your market area. Growing family. See all the homes with big backyards and 4 bedrooms and up. you kind of get the idea, right, of how that all kind of works. Heard from a real estate client out in Oakland that all the homes with pools are going off the market instantly, right? Everyone's tired of being home, cooped up, and they, are looking at their backyard going, man, I wish I had a pool. So, that's also a good one to run right there. All right, the open house mini funnel campaign. This is a fun one that I really enjoy because why this works is, most people that are going to open houses, they're towards the bottom of the funnel as consumers, right? Historically, data has shown us that people are typically searching for homes for only about 10 weeks. And towards that, that 6 to 4 week period there towards the end, they're engaging in open houses and meeting real estate agents. And 68% of home buyers work with and close a home with the first agent they have a conversation with. So this is all about how can you be a part of that 68%, right? How can you gain those people and not be the ones that are offline that kind of get the scraps, right? Making sure that you're fishing upstream. So what this does is you're going to go to your Facebook business page and you're going to create an event for your open house, either virtual open house or in person, whatever it might be. You're going to create the event. You're going to describe the property in the headline, tell them it's an open house, just put a date that's typically about 10 days out or more. Don't make this mistake of trying to run a campaign that's only going to run for like 3 or 4 days. It's not going to work. Facebook, the first 3 days in the algorithm, it's going through what's called a learning phase. It enters into a pacing mode where it's essentially trying to find people in the audience about who to serve the ad to, and it learns and then it grows from there. So the first 3 days, the campaign's not doing anything worthwhile, right? That's why it needs to be at least 10 days or 2 weeks ahead of time. So once you do that, you're going to run that campaign. Then after the event, you're going to go and you're going to create a custom audience of anyone engaged with that Facebook event. Now, what we're doing here is we're building a custom audience of anyone that looked at it and said, yes, I'm going, I'm interested, or that clicked on it and didn't engage. You create a custom audience inside your Facebook ad manager. Under custom audiences, choose that event, establish this, and then you're going to run a Facebook lead ad that is offering a list of homes in the same area that look identical to the same architectural style in that same price range. And now you're turning those people into leads. People that looked at it, right? They're turning them into leads by offering a list of homes. They click on that, get a name, email, and phone number, and then you send them to a property search IDX website of the list of homes you've already established. And then you follow up with a text message about, do you want to see a list of all the upcoming open houses coming up in your area? Do this like as a rinse and repeat method. Do this for about 6 or 7 open houses over a 2-month period. And you're going to build that custom audience from, let's say, 200 people to 600 to 800 to, now maybe around 3,000 people. Keep doing that and you're going to see some solid results. One of our coaching clients in our coaching program, Jose, he made 3 sales from doing this. He went to new construction developers, created a Facebook business page just for new construction, and asked them if he could do that for each one of their open houses. He didn't even go to their open houses. He would just run a Facebook ad announcing the open house and then get them into a custom audience and run Facebook lead ads to them and then turn them into leads. So not a bad ROI for only spending $255 on that kind of campaign. All right, I promised you that I'd walk you through animated ads and how to create your own without having to use a designer or hire someone else that would design those ads for you. So this is an internal slide from Facebook's Creative Shop. My friends there, because I'm a Facebook marketing partner, they said, we're going to go ahead and give this to you so I can share it with you guys today. So video matters, right? It gets 5 times more engagement than static images. So how do we add some lightweight motion to it? So I'm going to show you a quick case study that they did with Honest Company, where Honest Company had 1 still image and they turned it into 4 videos. So this was a still image, cute baby and some diapers, extra 20% off. And they said, you know what, we can do better. Let's see what we can do with this still image. So here's the basic motion. Slight animation there, not too much to it, but still pretty eye-catching. And then that's the brand in motion, right? Each one of those less than about 6 seconds. That got a 46% increase in subscribers. people actually taking out their credit card and saying, yes, I will pay monthly for diapers, almost 50%, which is huge when it comes to this kind of campaign. So think about this in real estate, right? Big back pool, 4-story home, hardwood floors, and then boom, your logo, call to action, click here's a list of homes, whatever it might be, and then demo in motion. So you kind of get an idea, right? The subtle animation can be done. So if you're going to do this inside of Facebook, you're going to go to the Facebook ad manager. You're going to open up this, you're going to choose pretty much any objective you want here, traffic or lead generation, whatever it might be. And then at the ad level, you're going to choose single image, right? You're going to choose that. Then down here in the media, on the far right-hand side, you're going to hit create video. So once you hit create video, it's going to unlock the video creation kit. And this is where you're going to add your images. So you can upload around 6 images here. So you're going to upload the static images. I'm going to upload one of me in a graveyard from a Facebook ad that we were doing, a video. It was miserably cold that night. So let's pretend that's a house, but we're going to choose one of these templates. Each one has their own slight kind of cool animation. So I'm going to go with this one here. I'm going to choose that template. I'm going to hit customize. And then now I can customize the scene a little bit more. I'm going to go to the next scene. And I'm going to say, just listed. Let's pretend this is a just listed property here. I'm going to change the font. And then scene 3, I'm going to upload another image. This is going to be me in front of a fireplace burning cash. That's for another Facebook ad commercial where I did. I was basically trying to symbolize that boosting post is burning cash. Don't do it. Don't boost post. It's burning cash. Okay. So we now instantly have a square and then we have a vertical image, right? One that serves Instagram placements, the other one that serves different placements across Facebook. So now 9-second video took us, a couple minutes to make. And now we've got a great eye-catching little animated ad that works really well for us. So right now, I want to walk you guys through how to launch a Facebook ad for a listing in less than 30 seconds. I know a lot of this information might be a little daunting, right? It's time consuming to create ads. It can be frustrating. And, time is money, and how much is your time worth? So I want to walk you through something that I'm really excited about and really proud of. Let me know if you can see my screen okay.
Yes. And Travis, is this where you're talking about walled garden?
Yes, is that okay?
Yep, nope, that's cool. We just have about another minute or two because we have Karen that's supposed to be hopping on, so I'm just trying to be a little bit mindful.
Perfect, yes. Yeah, I don't want to jump into Karen's time, so let me kind of dive through this real quick for you guys. All right, so this is walled garden. This is live in your market, so walledgardenhq.com. You would simply go and hit continue with Facebook, log in through there. At the verification page, you're going to choose your MLS, right? Type in your MLS, agent ID, or office ID. And then once you do that, that's going to auto-populate all of your listings. And then from here, you can go through and simply choose whichever listing you want to run as a Facebook ad. Hit view Facebook ad. And then what's going to do is
your screen.
Oh, you can't see my screen? Okay. I'm going to walk you guys through here and reshare that with you. Hold on one second. Bear with me. Okay, let me now see if you can see it now.
Yes.
Perfect. All right. So once you type in your agent ID, it's going to auto-populate all of your listings, right? Or all of your office listings. And then you simply just choose whichever property that you want to run as a Facebook ad. So we hit view Facebook ad. And then from here, it's going to instantly create the Facebook ad for you. Your business page, your ad copy is already created for you. We have battle tested about 9,000 campaigns with different headlines that get the highest engagement. Choose your photo. You just circle through and say, I want to run this as the photo here. You don't have to upload any photos. We've got our headline that's already there as well. It gets a high engagement click-through rate. And then over here, your ad duration. How many days do you want to run? 10 days or up to 30 days? For this example, keep it at 10. Daily budget. $10 a day or crank it up to 50. Again, it's your choice. And then the Facebook ad spend, right? This is going to be $100, 10 days, $10 a day. And then the service fee is $39 plus 15%. That's one off, right? That's not monthly. That's not a subscription. That's just for this specific ad. So you can pay per ad. Then you hit I agree, hit purchase this ad. And then after you type in the credit card details here, then about 5 minutes later, since we are using the Facebook marketing API and we're whitelisted with Facebook, this ad globally always gets approved, never gets denied, always goes out within about 5 to 10 minutes and starts targeting people within a 15-mile radius of the longitude and latitude of the property address, targeting interested home buyers. And then when they click on it, it turns into a Facebook lead ad already been created for you. We're going to name, email, and phone number and a qualifying question about when they plan on buying a home. And then those leads are sent to you via text, email, or to your favorite CRM. And then the leads are sent instantly to a beautiful single property website that we've pre-created for you that has all the details of the property. Looks really slick, great way to impress the homeowners. And now, in less than 30 seconds, you've got a high-performing Facebook ad that is generating leads, getting seen by tens of thousands of people, and impressing the homeowners so that they're excited and they're happy about it.
So basically, you took everything that you talked about and created a platform that people like us who aren't experts can go in and create, and in the click of a second, have ads, high-performing ads.
Exactly. So in less than 30 seconds, you just choose which property you want to run and say, all right, I'm going to use, let's say, this image here, right? You might change that headline or might not. Say, I want to run this run for 17 days, hit purchase, and then 5 minutes later, you have a Facebook ad that is off and running, targeting buyers, generating leads, and sending them over to a gorgeous single property website. It's been all pre-built for you. So no need to write ad copy or upload photos or try to design a website or figure out targeting. It's all there.
So how would somebody go register? It's wallgardenhq.com, correct?
Yep. Yeah. So wallgardenhq.com. And actually, we are rolling out a lender version where lenders can have this branded up here, and they can invite all of their agent clients, and then they would split 50% of the cost. So they
did we say that Gil's just going to buy it? Is that what we're doing? This is Travis, man. I don't even know what to say. I'm speechless. I am clicking on all of those ads. I am literally. I'm the monkey doing all the things that you're saying. I mean, like literally, when I see that ad with the video, I read it the way you said. I click it. I become the lead. I've done it for food, and I now understand the 50,000 unique data points. I post a lot about food. Facebook is giving me grills and meat, and I put a drink out there. I'm now on every alcohol, wine, and beer list. It's insane, and you just opened my eyes. Thank you.
Well, it was a pleasure being here. Thank you so much. And if you guys have any questions, about walled garden or whatever it might be, Katie, you have my information, so I'm sure they can get in contact with you. But we would love to introduce walled garden to any lenders that are interested. And we can talk kind of deeper and jump on a private call about that.
This is just, again, I mean, I can't even express enough. These are just game-changing things that are just here, and you're doing them. And as an agent first and foremost, this is incredible leverage.
Yep.
Thanks, Travis. I know Jen and I really appreciate you educating our clients and our agents, and I know they'll get a lot out of it. So you're awesome. Thank you for all these new tips.
It was my pleasure. Thank you, everyone. Have a great day.